would be OneDegree, building the operating system of the insurance industry.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, ATEC, for the opportunity, and great to see everyone, all the entrepreneurs and the VCs here. Oh, all right. Okay. So OneDegree is building the operating system of the insurance industry, and here there are three key pillars to make this happen. First, on day one, we want to be licensed as an insurer, virtual insurer, and we have got one of the 4 virtual insurance licenses in Hong Kong. We also just acquired a national broker license in China as well. Second key pillar is the technology piece. So we are building a core system SaaS, and this is really for anyone, global insurers, doesn't need to be licensed. And what we really bring on the table here is that we bring down the cost, the recurring cost by 41% for the insurers. Okay. The three key pillar is the killer application. We have 2 killer applications right now. One is to provide cybersecurity insurance for the virtual asset exchanges, like the crypto guys, and also the STO market as well. The second key pillar is to break into the mass affluent segment, starting with pet insurance, and then going into the other products like fire, e-commerce, medical, etc. as well. So right now, if you look at the landscape in the market, most of the insurtech companies are solely focusing on distribution for good reason, commission, right? But when we look at the pain points as a consumers and also as an insurer, the key pain points is actually in the product development that is extremely slow and irrelevant, and also the claim process, also very lengthy. And for us, we are really making it an end-to-end type of system to address the problem. Some case in point here. So we have already commercialized with a number of different insurance companies, like Signal, starting from one market to second to third market, and also first insurance in a particular market, and of course, OneDegree as a virtual insurer as well. To quantify the impacts that we have made in the market, now, typically for the insurance company to launch or to iterate a product, it takes them 6 to 9 months. For us, it takes us less than 10 days. And this really enabled a really fast product iteration. Claims, I just mentioned that. Typically, it took them 2 to 4 weeks last year because of work from home, but the receipts are flying into the offices. It took them 2 months. It took us 90% of the claims are done within 2 days. Our team now got 170 people. And one thing I do want to note here is that out of 170 people, half of the people have put money into the company. Okay, and so this is a real skin in the game, and very glad to share that. After the recent run, more than 10 of the team members actually hold shares that are worth more than $1 million. We target the mass affluent segment, and right now, with the type of unit economics, we really focus on it. The CAC that we have is 1/10 versus other insurers of the same product.
Thank you, Alvin. I think let's move on to Q&A. I think
okay,
sure.
Why don't you walk through the unit economics?
Okay, absolutely. So our unit economics, our LTV is 28 times over CAC. And then for the SaaS business, we realized 41% cost savings for the insurers, and for us, we make 80% gross margin. Okay. These are the unit economics.
Sorry, can you go into why? Because frankly, like we have looked at a lot of these, virtual banks, insurance, bank insurance, that cost just sounds really too attractive, too good to be true. So if you could explain what that is. And second question, sorry, I'm like hogging it. Why do you choose the sectors that are hardest to make money? Like you would argue like pet, property casualty is the worst economics in the marketplace. So why do you choose?
Okay, so first of all, I think I want to address why our CAC is so much lower than other people first. Now, on the claims, you can see the drastic difference, right? So right now, in the past several months, half of our business are organic, basically coming from word of mouth. And also coming from the user get user. And to give you a sense of that, user get user, our cost is 200 Hong Kong dollar per customer. Versus other insurers right now per successful lead generation is 6,000 Hong Kong dollar. Okay, so this is the drastic difference when you have a really good product. I think that's number one. Number two, when I talk about the product iteration, frankly, when we first have our first version coming out to the market, it doesn't work. And to give you a sense of that, for pet insurance as an example, when the leads come in, 50% come from dogs, 50% come from pets. But when it comes to successful conversion, 95% of that come from dogs, 5% come from cats, which means the cat market, despite the insurers have been doing this for more than 10 years, have not successfully cracked in the market. But through the really fast product iteration to achieve the product market fit, we crack it. Now it's 50-50, which means the CAC is just down 50% just like that, and so on. So it's really through the product iteration. So because of a really good CAC, we achieve, the LTV versus CAC is really, really good.
Hi, Evan. So full disclosure, OneDegree is a portfolio company. But I just wanted to make a comment that you really need to PDF your PowerPoint because a lot of your fonts are messed up.
Oh, sorry.
That's it. Can you maybe talk about competition here? You're in the brokerage business, but there's a lot of insurance companies that are going direct to consumer via the internet. Maybe you can talk a little bit about how you guys stack up.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so in fact, yesterday, one of the key insurers, they come talk to us, and the issue about that is all about conversion rates, all about sales and conversion rate, right? So right now we have more than 100,000 customer paid users, but from a marketing cost point of view, we are probably second lowest. Okay, I think that's one. Our conversion rate is 4.something%. The other traditional insurers, when they sell online, the conversion rate is 0.01%. Okay, so I think the issue about that is really about, it's not about digital lipstick. You just put a product online and that's it. It's about the digital journey. It's about really how to make a product that the customers really love. And a lot of it actually comes from technology.
Have you guys been able to retain all of your insurers on your platform, and how's cross-selling and repeats?
Right. Well, let me make a clarification. So we are not a broker. So we actually got one of the 4 virtual insurance licenses in Hong Kong. It's like a virtual bank that you can do underwriting. You can directly provide products. I think that's number one that I want to clarify on that piece. Number 2, great question. So right now we have 92% the annual recurring customer. Okay, so people keep repeating purchase. And by the way, out of the 92% people who keep purchasing, more than half of them did not make claims. Okay, so they really love the services. Okay, I think that's number 2. Number 3 is that in the first year, we only have one product that is pet insurance. The second year, we really have products every quarter. Okay, and then starting from 4th quarter, we're going into mass market product like critical illness, human medical, etc., etc. So from a repeat purchase I think we are clearly there. From a cross-selling, I think it's still a little bit early to tell.
Yeah, I'm just curious, when you think about analogs to your business and who you admire, who are the top 3 names? Is one of them like Lemonade?
I think Lemonade, I think what we are thinking about is probably closer. We are both focusing on mass affluent. By the way, I also want to explain a little bit about the mass affluent concept. Okay, I think most of the insurtech companies globally, whether it's Waterdrop, Zhong'an, etc., most of them are focusing on the grassroots segment. Okay, the so-called financial inclusion. Okay, but our thinking is a little bit different. Our thinking is that, and when we do the user research, in fact, the college graduates, they don't want to be called by agents and brokers. They want to call these customer services when they want to. It's kind of like Genius Bar of the Apple Store and so on, right? But the grassroots segment, on the other hand, they actually need to rely on agents and brokers to explain the terms to them. Okay, so I think for us, for Lemonade, we really focus on the mass affluent segment and serve them extremely well. And this is really, so I think Lemonade is definitely one example to that. From a customer service point of view, I think Apple Genius Bar is really what we are looking up to. And then from a business model point of view, is Google in the entire Google, in the entire kind of the operating system in this insurance industry.
And are there natural acquirers of your business at this stage?
Well, sometimes I like to flip the question. What about we go and acquire a big guy? But anyway, so there are indeed, well, every year I can tell you this year.
Did Chibo tell you to answer questions like that?
No. Yeah, well, there are a number of insurers that come to us from time to time. Okay, but I don't think that's the right time to maximize the impacts of the value of the technology.
You're just curious, why did you get a license, right? Because a lot of people try to avoid getting regulated, and why do that? Why not just be an intermediary?
That's a really, really, really great question. Thanks so much for bringing that up. I think number one, well, we actually said that we want to be regulated on day one. And there are two key reasons for that. The first reason is that we see that at this point of time of the fintech industry, it does get to a point that I think being regulated, being licensed is extremely important. Okay, I think that's number one. Number two, even more importantly, is that as a fully licensed insurer, you have the liberty to iterate your product as much as you like. When you are a broker and so on, or an intermediary, just because the insurance industry works so slow, it at times takes you 6-9 months to convince the insurers to iterate and change the product. But for us, we can do 5 product iteration within a year time, and this is the type of speed that none of the existing guys, the incumbents, are able to follow.
You can spend some time talking about the market opportunity, and which target markets you're going in.
Absolutely. Okay, so we are targeting a $217 billion opportunity. In fact, I think on the GI side is the Hong Kong and GBA as a start, including Insurance Connect. We also have a team working on the life insurance. It might take a little bit more time. Okay, and then on the B2B front, so right now, well, by the way, it's not only B2B in Asia. I mean, selling the insurance technology to Asian insurers, but also there's some European insurers who come in the process right now. The cyber one, also, we are now, after the B1 round that we recently announced, and thanks for the support. So we have actually most of the large crypto guys come in the process and want to work with us on the cybersecurity insurance and also cybersecurity protection front.
We have about 2 minutes left, so maybe time for one last question. Or not. I think that's it. I think that's a wrap. Thank you. Thank you very much, Alvin.
Thank you.
And for everyone who's paying close attention and wondered what the value-added VCs were, thank you, Chibo, for giving kind of a live example of live mentoring. So that was very nice.